That's how I knew that I made it. I woke up looking as good. I'm in my
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my OG detectives. And shout out to everybody that's going to catch this video for the first time. Make sure you guys like, share, follow, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment down below. I'm your girl SD, also known as Lady Isis. And today we are going to be talking about Duchess Dior, also known as Zaria Carr Cummings is her maiden name. And if you haven't seen or heard of her story or don't know anything about it, be sure to check my other recent videos in regards to this very tragic situation. This was a murder-suicide where Zaria lost her life to the hands of her husband. And the recording of the Facebook Live and everything, all the details are definitely in the video section. But today we're going to be talking about how a person could be crying out for help, and particularly a lady, a woman, and it just falls on blind eyes and deaf ears. So to me, it seems like Zaria's family and friends may not have took this situation as serious as it should have been taken based off her crying out on Facebook, which I do have the post that she last wrote on Facebook. And I also have a few other posts that was made by her friends or family members, close people in proximity to her. Um, her last post, which is very concerning, she said, I really don't know what to do, but I need help before I lose my life or freedom. My kids need me. And she also referenced that somebody tell me how this boy is getting all her texts and calls referring to her husband. This happened on June 14th. Okay. So to me, this was very alarming, and I feel like it should have been taken a lot more serious. But I do understand that people could not take things serious when they're used to a toxic relationship or watching a person in a toxic relationship be toxic, right? However, it is very important that we take the necessary steps as family, friends of people who we can witness in a toxic relationship. They may not know what to do. Yes, they're grown, but it's still something that we can do to help protect their lives, like call law enforcement, go get them, do something, intervene in some type of way. Okay, so in the comment section to this status where she say, I really don't know what to do, but I need help before I lose my life or freedom, my kids need me, she replied in the comment section, basically responding to a friend that said what I told you. I guess she may have been referencing a conversation that they had outside of social media. But then Duchess Dior responded, aka Zaria. She said, I know, but this MFer then got on the dumb S. So if I unalive, somebody needs to know. The girl responded, text me. And she said, he's getting all of my calls and texts. To me, that sounds like a man that was very possessive of her. Even if she looked like she wasn't scared on social media, because I've seen a lot of comments about that. Even if she looked like she wasn't scared in the live video that we seen, that does not mean that she was not afraid for her life genuinely, because she knew that he may take it too far. Just because we seen her arguing back with him does not mean that she didn't fear for her life. Okay? So there was also another post that I seen a person uploaded a status basically saying, Zaria, one of my favorite clients that literally turned to family, always showing love and encouraging me, pushing me to expand, always booking events, always recommending me to others. We first met when she booked her baby shower and I asked the baby's name. She said 7. I said, Big, you being funny. She said, if you know, you know. But nah, she was serious. We just talked last week about her goal to open a daycare center, and she gave me so many pointers with summer camp. Um, with summer camp. And yesterday, my God, when she messaged me about getting our sweet 7, I said, bring her to me. Basically, and within the hour, this was the day of June 14th, where Zaria was unalive. This person continues to say, when she came, I said, where you going tonight, hot mama? And she said, nowhere. I just need a break. While smiling that big, pretty smile she has, and to get the call while me and 7 was rolling around playing on the floor broke her. She said, I've watched baby girl sleep peacefully all night. And all I could think about was the fact that she's too young to know what's going on. And she will never get to do all the things that girls love to do with their moms. Praying for her family, but extra hard for her babies, mom, and sisters, because I know for a fact they meant the world to her. So evidently, this was a person that does or did do Zaria's cakes, but they developed a friendship, and obviously they were close enough for her, Zaria, to feel like she can go drop her daughter off to her, which the messages are here where they were inboxing each other back and forth, and you could see it. This messages was from June 14th around 10 a.m. and it was said that around 9:30 p.m. this night is when Zaria was unalive, but she was asking for a break basically. And in between all of this that was going on with between her making the status, her wanting to drop her daughter off to get a break, her husband had access to her phone, and he admitted on the live that he was getting her phone turned off, or he did, because he assumed that she was cheating, she was talking to a guy, or doing whatever it was that he felt like she shouldn't do. And because he had control over her phone, he got the phone turned off. She went home in between dropping her daughter off and around 3 p.m. when they were on a live. She was at home arguing with him, and you can hear her in a live stating that he needed to turn her phone back on. Okay, so I seen a piece of a clip where, or part in the live, where the husband Shamarcus Carr had turned the camera around, and I don't think that Zaria realized that she was being recorded, which is this photo right here. So he was recording himself. He turned around facing her, but he flipped the camera as well. And this was the image that I was able to see of Zaria when he flipped it before she realized that she was being recorded. Then she switched her whole demeanor and stance and everything. But this photo really spoke, this part of the video really spoke volumes to me, because it lets me know, according to her face expression, that she knew something was wrong. It fell off. And then the fact that she had been telling people in the comments of her live, of not of her live, but on her Facebook, she had been expressing to friends and family that she didn't feel safe, and that if she was to be unalive, at least y'all know who did it. Okay. So this right here really gave the raw feeling that she really was having, outside of the fact that she was being argumentative back with him, or she was standing her ground, or she was defending herself, when he clearly got on social media and tried to humiliate her and embarrass her and just flat out disrespect her. But I want to talk about the importance of us paying attention to our intuition and not allowing our egos and pride to override our intuition when it's screaming danger, 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 which she had been feeling all the way up into the very moment where things got out of hand and he lost total control. And it's been said that he assaulted her physically till she became unconscious. I think another part of her was thinking that maybe he wouldn't do it. Maybe it wouldn't get that far. But we can't even give people the benefit of the doubt when we know we don't feel safe. And the fact that she or her family or friends may have perceived her as crying wolf, or feeling like this just what they do, or she should learn to have shut up, or we told them to leave each other, we told them this, we told them that. Okay, so I think that maybe family and friends didn't want to get involved. Okay, but that was definitely a moment for them to intervene. She was crying out for help before any of this happened. She knew. There was also some Snapchat messages between her and a friend also, where I'll pull it up on the screen, where she was expressing how she feel as well. And on the screen we can see that Duchess friend has said, "You'll know when you had enough and it'll be the best feeling ever. I'm here if you ever want to vent. Don't want you to post about cuz bees be real life praying for your marriage to go downhill and want your spot." Duchess responded, "I definitely appreciate that, and I'm already knowing, but on my kids I want somebody to take him off my hands." The friend responded, "Pray, it'll fix it. That don't work. We got to take action. That don't work sometime, okay?" She said, "But pray. It'll fix all your problems. I promise God will heal you and remove him." No, they needed to take action immediately and bless you with better. If you ever have the question yourself, that's not the man that God has for you, because if he was, you'll feel love no matter what, you'll feel respected, you'll be happy. Pray every chance you get. Watch God and your kids, and you'll feel like you need. Okay, so I don't want to say some people didn't genuinely care. I just think that sometimes people don't know the actions to take, or they don't know if it's as serious as they may think, or if they're overthinking it, or whatever the case may be. But we just want to make sure that we are taking all the steps that we can to help people, because if you really understood the mind of a woman who is, or a person that is in an abusive relationship or dynamic, and you really understand the psychology behind it, sometimes they know they should leave. They don't know how to leave. They've been so degraded, so humiliated, and so low in their self-worth and confidence that they don't even feel like they can leave. So sometimes it does take intervention. Sometimes it does take you popping up to their location, calling the police and telling them, "I'm putting my foot down, you coming with me." Okay, sometimes it takes for someone to do the unthinkable to stop that situation from happening. Speaking from my own personal experience, sometimes people just be glad to get you off their hands. Sometimes people just be okay with you not being in their house and in their space. She absolutely should have left that house and stayed away. After she dropped her daughter off to the babysitter, she absolutely should have stayed away. But sometimes our ego and pride won't let us do that. If she needed another phone, she should have just took herself to the Metro store and got another phone, or something to that extent. Okay, but a lot of times it really boils down to the mental state of the victim, the mental state of the aggressor as well. She knew something was off. The energy fell off. And I believe that she knew. I believe that others knew, but I don't believe that they took the actions that they should have taken, regardless if she's an adult, regardless if they felt like it was nothing that they can do. And this is her choice. This is her life. That's what she chose to do. We talked to her. I told her everything that I could possibly tell her to get her to stay away. Take physical action. Get there. Get there, because she did cry out on social media. This was not a case where nobody knew, where you can't say I didn't know, so we want to make sure, especially when we have the evidence that they are crying out for help. And I believe that a lot of times people view social media as a joke. Even on the live, people were laughing, people were joking about it. Nobody was taking it serious. It's like people on social media are in la la land. But domestic violence is very serious. Domestic violence is very serious, and we have not blaming the victims when it comes to domestic violence. She didn't take her own life. Her life was taken away from her and her children. Now, she did drop her daughter off, stating here between a Facebook Messenger and the cake person or the event planner that became friends with Zaria, that she had needed a break. You know, it's hard to tell if she really needed the break or if she may have wanted to make sure her children wasn't around because she knew something was off. She knew her spirit wasn't settled, right? That could have been it as well. But I send my condolences to her family, her friends, to the people who genuinely cared about Zaria. I just really wanted to make this point. And there was also another status that I seen as well, where this person said, "Girl, call me again. Tell me this." She said, "Girl, call me again. Tell me something. This ain't for real. All I keep hearing is you say he gonna unalive me if you went back home." This was June 15th. She said, "You told me you needed to be here for your kids. I told you to stay away till things died down. I wish you would have stayed away from him. You had so much to live for. You loved your kids. God, please, somebody wake me up from this dream. I'm traumatized. I literally just talked to her. I wish I wouldn't have lost service. I wish I would have called you back, my sweet girl." So this was somebody that I feel like Zaria may have confided in a lot. And she was also the same person that was in the comment section that said, "Call me," here as well, to that status up at the top. I think it was this one here. Yes. They may have exchanged, some conversation about what was going on, what she was dealing with, and things like that. I just want us to be more educated when it comes to domestic violence. What ways can you show up for your loved ones? What actions could you take in real time? How could you be more diligent in your stance as a friend or family member? No, we can't force people to do things, but do all that you can so that you won't regret not doing enough. This was also a recording between Zaria and a friend of hers where it says, "Yes, but the evil side of me says, no, suffer, because I dropped the charges, so they ain't going to do too much anyway. If it ain't with me, then what you free for?" And a friend responded, "No, for real though, I don't condone that beating as for real. Let him sit for a minute to let him know you ain't bullshitting, okay?" So I want to also point out here as well, ladies, if somebody is putting their hands on you, your spouse, your boyfriend, your friend, anybody, and you're in a relationship with them, do not drop the charges. Press charges and plan your exit. The best time to leave is when they are locked up. Okay. Zaria made a mistake not pressing charges and canceling the charges that she did originally press, because she said she had dropped the charges. And evidently when she dropped the charges, If you ain't with me, then what you free for? So he may have been doing some backdoor ish, going back, doing some cheating things, or whatever the case may be. But the very important thing that I want to point out here is that I believe this was an incident where he obviously assaulted her, physically assaulted her. This could have been the time where they claim he had assaulted her for 3 hours straight after allegedly finding her cheating, which I don't believe, because a man that is delusional as him or lacks control as much as he do, and as vicious as he is, I can't see him not taking it that far, like he did on the 14th of June 2025 by unaliving her. Why didn't he do it that day? They have cameras, so it really doesn't make sense to me. However, the point is, if you press charges, if they put hands on you, press charges. Go through with those charges. Go through with it. Don't feel ashamed, because they was not ashamed when they put their hands on you. I highly recommend it. And while you at it, get a protective order just in case somebody bond them out, like one of their enablers, like his family was definitely enablers to his bullshit. Make sure you get a protection order for you and your children if you have them. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. This is it for this video, you guys. Make sure you let me know what you think down in the comment section. Do you think that the family and friends could have done more in this situation? Or do you believe that they did all of they could have? Or do you feel like in a case like this that the victim is, you know, they had the option to leave, or they could have exited the relationship, or whatever the case may be? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll catch you guys later. And yes, like Shark Tank, I'm out. Please keep in mind that every 4 hours, a woman is unalive to the hands of a man. We want to take domestic violence very serious. We want to practice leaving the first time when we feel disrespected. Don't stick around until you're unalive and you're no longer here for your family and friends and the people that genuinely love you. Let's practice choosing us no matter what. Let's practice making sure that we are in safe environments and that we are trusting our intuition, okay? Because it will save your life. Ashe.
Hey, I'm at the top of my game. I'm who they hate. This shit come with the fame. That's how I knew that I made